Hey everyone, I'm Grech, and I'm the CEO of Wyzer. That's a technology company specializing in artificial intelligence and blockchain. Today I'm here to share some of my thoughts about how I think these two very disruptive technologies are going to be developing in the next couple of years. Now, I'm a very analytical type of person, and I'm very wary of making predictions, especially in public. And that's for the simple reason that most predictions in human history have actually been wrong. So us humans aren't that great at making predictions. And this is especially the case when it comes to technology. So in technology, new technologies tend to take us by surprise. Having said that, there's actually a very large proportion of technology that is much more predictable. And this is due to the fact that technology does not change at a single point in time, but technology tends to change gradually in cycles. And as technology develops, it tends to emit certain tendencies. And obviously, we can look at these tendencies, and this can help us predict the general direction of where technology is actually heading. The biggest tendency that's currently being emitted by technology is definitely the tendency to make things smarter and smarter using artificial intelligence. Now, when I like to speak about AI to a lot of people, and the general impression that I get when I speak about AI to people who aren't actively involved in the field is that people think that AI is something of the future, so something that is yet to come. However, I'll gladly make a bet with each and every one of you today that although it's still 10 a.m., you've already somehow interacted with an artificial intelligence algorithm. So if you own the latest iPhone and you unlock your phone with your face, then that's actually AI that's unlocking your phone. If you own a fancy new car that can park itself, then that's actually AI that's parking it for you. If you use Netflix, YouTube, Gmail, pretty much any service out there is very heavy on AI. So much so that economists and politicians all over the world are actually waking up to this and taking notice of the changes that are happening in artificial intelligence. And these people are trying to come up with economic models that can actually help us future-proof ourselves for AI. So we need to build a future where people can actually work less and maintain the same standard of living. Studies have shown that by the year 2030, which is worryingly closer than it sounds, artificial intelligence will account for around 16% of the global output of the world. So this means that in 12 years' time, 16% of the wealth generated by the whole world will actually be generated by algorithms. And this new wealth is actually coming our way because we're actually performing a new industrial revolution using artificial intelligence. So everything that we gave electricity to in the second industrial revolution, and everything that we gave computing power to in the third industrial revolution, we're now cognifying. We're giving things the ability to think and to make smart decisions. And what that means is that while previously there was a large proportion of problems which we thought were really hard to solve without human intervention, today we've already proven that we can do that. And that should be a good thing, because if the world is still generating more and more wealth, and people really need to work less and less, then that's the type of future that I really want to live in. Having said that, it would be stupid to look at the advances made in AI without actually looking at the environment in which these advancements are being made. And that environment is the environment of our global economy. And our global economy also emits tendencies. And the biggest tendency that's being emitted by our global economy in recent times is actually the tendency to give more and more power to less and less people. So if you look at the world's most valuable companies, you'll immediately notice that these companies share some form of characteristics. Besides almost all being tech companies, economists have realized that certain characteristics that are actually shared by these companies go beyond technology. So economists have coined the term superstar companies to describe these world leaders. And what really makes a superstar company? So a superstar company is a company that uses digital innovation to create economies of scale where a single winner takes all. So if you look at each and every one of these companies, they tend to have a kind of monopoly over a certain part of our lives. These guys are also the guys who are hiring the best AI engineers in the world. They're also the guys with most data. So what this means is that the way AI is developing, these companies are just going to get more and more powerful. So this kind of realities, these two realities at the moment, mean that the state of artificial intelligence is in a kind of paradox at the moment. So AI is both the most exciting technology to be working in, because through AI we're really pushing the boundaries of what can and cannot be done using technology. But it's also potentially the most dangerous technology out there. And when I say dangerous, I really don't mean that robots are going to take over the world and kill us all. But what I mean is that AI has the potential to really change our economy in such a way that most people can actually end up worse off, while it's the guys at the top who will really end up much better off. And when you really think about what we can fix in the way we do AI, the root cause of most of the issues that one can think about when speaking about artificial intelligence really stem from centralization. So when you think about how AI works today, so with AI you need good algorithms and you need good data, and the more data that you have, the better your algorithms get. Now, this makes data an asset class. Data actually has value. There are people out there who will pay to know what you Googled yesterday. And given that this is an asset that has value, the way that it currently works, the only people who actually see this value are the big corporations at the top. My proposal is that we need to decentralize AI and make AI look something more like that. So how can one mention decentralization without really speaking about blockchain? So blockchain, despite its very young age, has already transformed the way we think about storing value and managing information. And it's actually done that in potentially the most risky environment to do it. So finance, which is actually people's money, is potentially, it wouldn't have been the easiest task to solve using blockchain for sure. Now, the next thing that we really need to do is that we need to enable an ecosystem where we can build smart, decentralized applications. And this goes beyond technology. So I've met so many people in blockchain over the past couple of months. And something that you immediately realize when speaking to these people who are so passionate about decentralization is that people who believe in blockchain really believe that the decentralization of power will lead to people at the bottom of the pyramid being much better off. And that's really what we want. So my proposal is that the data that really drives these AI algorithms, the fuel, so to speak, of these AI algorithms needs to be commoditized. And what better way to do that than to actually tokenize the data that is being fed into these algorithms? The minute we manage to find an efficient way to commoditize and tokenize data onto blockchain, as we have done with financial currencies, then there are immediate advantages that one can immediately see. So first of all, in the current ecosystem, people don't really compete on who has the best AI. So if I were to build an AI model and try to build a better model than Facebook to predict what news item you'd like, I stand no chance, because Facebook has so much more data about you than I do. So Facebook is actually creating a monopoly in that space. If data is commoditized and everybody can buy that data under the same conditions, then Facebook no longer holds that monopoly. And maybe guys like me can actually get out there and try to create an AI revolution from our bedrooms. The second thing that we immediately solve by commoditizing data is the huge problem of data integrity. So as things stand today, people can be making decisions that actually affect my life using AI algorithms without me even knowing about that data and without me even knowing about how those algorithms are being used. So if data is commoditized, we've solved the problem of data integrity, because that's one of the things that comes purely out of the box when adapting blockchain technology. Last but not least, commoditizing data really means that we're creating a new and efficient data monetization mechanism. And the thing that I like about this monetization mechanism is that it's not only the guys at the top who get to actually see that monetization, but it's actually the people who own the data and the people who are creating this fuel that is helping artificial intelligence adapt. So by commoditizing data, we can lease it or sell it in effective ways. And the good thing about this is that if it's artificial intelligence that's taking away people's jobs by automating literally all forms of repeatable work, then in my eyes, it should also be artificial intelligence that's creating new revenue streams for the same people who might have lost their jobs. All in all, blockchain technology and artificial intelligence are on two completely separate sides of the technology spectrum. So AI fosters centralized, intelligent, and closed data systems. On the other hand, blockchain fosters decentralized data processing and open data systems. We really need to get AI working in a decentralized way and using open data systems. And that way, we can truly be sure that the AI of the future will work not only for the few at the top, but actually for the many at the bottom. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Daniel. So we've heard a couple of times during this conference about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and how